Even when you have broken it off with a narcissist, it can be difficult to get rid of them once and for all. While narcissists may seem to disappear from your life, they will almost always be back. And when they do, it can be almost impossible to get them to leave you alone. The strategies you should use to get them to leave you alone depend on the severity of the harassment, but there are effective tactics for every level of harassment. Every situation involving a narcissist is different, but there are some common strategies to employ to get them to leave you alone. Here are 9 of the most important things you can do to stop the harassment. Number 1. Educate yourself. The first thing you need to do in any situation is to educate yourself about it. The more you can learn about narcissism and its causes, the better you will be able to prevent narcissistic abuse. Narcissistic personality disorder, known as NPD, develops as a result of childhood experiences that damage a child's developing sense of self, or ego. Your ego is the identity mechanism that props up your self-esteem and helps you self-soothe during difficult times. Without a healthy ego, narcissists need other people to prop up their self-esteem, and this guides much of their behavior. This is what you need to learn about if you are going to stand a chance at stopping their harassment. Number 2. Create your own support system. Once you know what you're up against, you can better understand how important it is to have people in your corner. You're going to need people who really love you and have your best interest at heart to support you through the difficulties that likely lie ahead. If you've been involved with a narcissist, you're likely going to need support while you recover from the emotional abuse to which you've been exposed. These family and friends will be there for you when you take the steps you may need to take to stop a narcissist from harassing you. These should be people who you can call anytime you need help or emotional support. They should be people you trust and can rely on to be there for you when you need them. You'll need them to help you stay strong. Number 3. Break off all contact. Once you know what you're dealing with and have a support system in place, it's time to break off all contact. This means break off all contact. Don't call them, don't take calls from them, don't respond to any form of communication, and if you see them, don't engage with them. It's a good idea to block their phone, and you may even want to avoid going to places where you know they tend to go. Additionally, don't respond to or accept communication from the narcissist's flying monkeys. Flying monkeys are mutual friends or even just friends of the narcissist who will contact you on their behalf. If they approach you and try to ask you any information about what you're doing, it's best to just say, I don't want to be in contact with that person anymore, and so I think it's just better if we don't talk either. Number 4. Be assertive and clear. Narcissists don't get subtlety. I used to think that surely my mother would see I was upset and ask me why, but that never happened. They don't want to know what you're upset about because then they might have to listen to criticism or defend themselves so they won't have to take responsibility for their actions. If you think they will notice that you're angry, you're just fooling yourself. You have to calmly but assertively state your truth. You should do so in an unequivocal, concise language without trying to sugarcoat anything. They don't respond to your attempts to save their feelings. If you are too soft or subtle, they read that as indecisive, and they won't respond to what you're saying. If a narcissist is harassing you and you want it to stop, you need to state that very clearly, or it will continue. Number 5. Understand your rights. Whether you're dealing with a narcissist at work or in your personal life, it's critical to understand your rights. You have a right to be free from harassment, and there are laws in place to protect you. If you're uncertain about your legal rights, take the time to educate yourself about what you can do when someone is harassing you. You need to understand this so you can take the action that is appropriate for your situation. There are often governmental agencies in place that can assist you in getting the help you need to ensure that you are not being harassed, and this is true for both your place of work and in your personal life. Take the time to find out what's in place that you can use to stop the abuse. Number 6, document everything that happens. Another vital thing to do when being harassed by anyone, including a narcissist, is to document everything that happens. Making notes in real time about an incident that occurred may come in handy if you need to take legal action. Whenever you have any interaction with your abuser, write down the date, time, place, and any other people who were present, and detail the specifics about what occurred. You'll be glad you did this if you have to go to court for any reason. This is also important for those situations where you can't completely break off contact with a narcissistic abuser. For example, if you share children with them and need to see them for reasons related to that, it's essential to document everything as it occurs. You'd also want to document anything your children tell you that happened in real time as well. It can be vital if you end up in a dispute with them. Number 7, alert family and friends. It's also important to make sure all your family and friends know that you don't want to be in contact with the narcissist anymore. Let them know that the narcissist may try to contact them, but that you don't want them to give that person any information. You might also need to let your workplace know the situation, since it's not unheard of for a narcissist to contact the work of someone with whom they separated. If the narcissist is someone at work, you might need to request a transfer or separate work location. It's quite common for narcissists to contact family, friends, and work colleagues, so you'll want to be prepared for this possibility. It's also important to know that this can occur even a long period of time after you've broken off contact. Sometimes a narcissist will attempt to contact you even years after a breakup. Number 8, strengthen your boundaries. Another critical thing to do when you break off contact is to strengthen your boundaries. Make sure you are very clear with everyone in your life what you want and what you will and will not accept. Now is the time to look out for yourself, and particularly if you have to remain in contact with the narcissist who's harassing you, you'll want to make sure your boundaries are crystal clear and very strong. Make sure that everyone in your life knows your boundaries and the consequences of violations. This is your right, and you deserve to have those boundaries respected. By taking good care of yourself, you'll be prepared to confront anyone who would try to manipulate or control you. And number 9, take the appropriate legal actions. Narcissists are known to occasionally stalk their victims, and some are also physically abusive, so you need to take any appropriate legal actions to protect yourself. This may mean getting a restraining order, or it may mean pressing charges. This can be an extremely difficult process, so it's best to prepare yourself if you need to follow through on legal remedies. Don't let that discourage you from doing so, however, since it's easy for an abusive situation to escalate into a dangerous situation. It may not be something you particularly want to do, but it might be necessary to keep yourself and your family safe. In the end, when a narcissist is harassing you, it can make your life miserable. That's why it's critical to understand why they do what they do and the steps you might need to take to make the abuse stop. It can be difficult to initiate the actions discussed previously, but it's important for both your mental and physical well-being. If you're dealing with a persistent narcissist, it's critical to understand the way they think. You need to watch this video about whether or not they will ever give up. It has vital information about why narcissists act the way they do. Thanks for watching.